yesterday. I do that. Alright. This is What Remains of Edith Finch. It's very sad. Kind of dark. I will be putting warnings in throughout just for everyone in general. Okay. Let's get started.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Look how pretty this is. And I've already said it before. I did play some of this yesterday, about like 30 minutes of it, but I decided I'll just start over for people who didn't get to see it, because the first 30 minutes is interesting.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half of the rooms.
It's still really pretty. Look at this. They're on an island, and I love it. Well, I mean, you know, it's all fun and games until power goes out and you're just on an island. It's like, no thank you. And I want to make her arm warmers.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
There's a lot of sadness in this game, so be prepared for sadness. Also, a warning if you've ever lost a child, you know, you might want to just, you know, be careful, because it gets pretty, yeah, you asked, and I was like, alright, I'll do it for you, because I love you. And this game is great, so. Oh, that's really good timing on my part. Yeah, this game is gorgeous. You know, I love it. Actually, 1 second.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
I don't know why I immediately thought horses when she said that, and then she went around the corner to the deer, and I was like, oh yeah, duh. I'm just an idiot. I lived in Oregon forever. There's like deer everywhere. I don't know if they're in Oregon. They might be in Washington or something. Yeah. Alright, well apparently the controller wasn't all the way pushed down on the charger, so that's always fun. It was just like, your controller's dead. I was like, what? I just pulled it off there. If it doesn't get pushed down just right, it just doesn't charge. Okay. Hello, Mr. Deer. No, listen, I said this before. Please don't leave me here in these creepy woods with a creepy house. You're all I have. Hello, foxgloves. Oh, I got this too. Look at that. Yeah. So, you know, running, like I said before, when she just ran tummy first into the gate.
Even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
there's
The
the
house
house.
was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Built by a psychopath? Yeah, crazy person definitely built this. And how? Where'd the power lines run to? Now I want to go back and see if there's like some sort of like power plant here, if they're all water powered. Also want to catch frogs. Oh, it's one of those missing posters. This is Milton. He's been missing for a while.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Yeah, I don't think Edie was joking. She's kind of, yeah. Ooh. Look at how pretty this is. I would love to have these boxes right here. Oh my gosh, I'd have like a shit ton of lavender out front. So like the bees
As a child,
would just be like excited.
the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
I think Gary made a lot of money off the Finches. It's like, we only buy Gary's. It's like, why? It's like, 'cause he's Gary. Ma'am, Gary's been dead for years. Shut your face. Oh, there's a hole over here. Can I peek out? Aw. Lame.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, the belly. I'm sure it's exhausting as hell. It's a crown. Let's get in the car. We'll get out of here. Alright. Yeah, I read it this morning when I got up and got my coffee. Don't need a flashlight? Alright.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a set of her arm
For the
warmers.
first time in years,
Like, super cool.
I felt like I was home.
So this is an exploratory game. For anyone just jumping in, there's not a lot of, you know,
But instead of a family,
action.
there were just memories of one.
There's some semi-interesting things going on, but
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
it's like an actual recipe. Sliced peeled tart apples, water. I mean, it looks like it could be one. You know what? Maybe I'll just come back later and just like pause it here and try out this recipe and see how it tastes. Might as well, right?
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
One of my favorite recipes it's a pancake recipe, and I actually got it from a movie. Like, they had this special features thing on this movie, which was about cooking. And there was a pancake recipe, and I, like, wrote it down, and I used it, and it was the most amazing
It was like a
pancakes
bomb had
ever.
gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
And the gross dishes.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Again, rude. Those are my words. Just because other people, so they could just watch the beginning and, you know. I mean, it doesn't take me long to get to where I need to be, so I just thought, I'll start over. It doesn't take, I know where I'm supposed to go already, so it's okay.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Plus, I might like to see the cool, you know, Molly's part, even though it's sad. You know, the second bit of it, not the other bit.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
This song is pretty. It's creepy, but it's pretty. I would like to have it, you know, just to listen to it. I'm going to have to look it up. Definitely fits the atmosphere.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
So yeah, she has 2 siblings. Right here, this is a picture of her mom. She's the one being held. Lewis, right here in the red, is the oldest, and then Milton is the little boy in front. I thought there was a better picture of them somewhere around here that we could look at. Oh, that's right. It's one without Milton in it, though. Right here. There's Edie, which is the great-grandma. Edith, which is us. Dawn's our mom, and Lewis is our older brother. And yeah, Lewis, he passed away. And I think this is after Milton disappeared. Maybe, because he's not in that picture, so I think it was after he disappeared, because he's like really young in that picture of them on the wall, so.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
It's really sad, but it's very interesting. You know, it's an exploratory game.
After Milton disappeared,
but the story's told in a very interesting, very creative way. So.
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Yeah, not dangerous. That's fine. I mean, someone leans on that, they can just, you know, whatever. Molly's room.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Yeah. So, yeah, and this here has all the date, the year they were born and the year they died, so Molly was only 10 when she died. I can't remember what the, hold on, because there's other doors we can look at real quick. Sven, 1964, Edie, 2010. Sven was her husband.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Gregory, 76 to 77, he was only 1.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Oh, your family was crazy. So, Calvin was 11 when he died.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Calvin and Sam were twins, I think. It seems like both their names are on the door, so it seems very twinsy.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara was... looks like a childhood... yeah, she was an actress. This Barbara's room? Oh.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
It'd be pretty epic to have a name like Odin. You know, like, my name's Odin. It's like, so cool.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Gotta grow with the times, girl. Alright, this way.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Still really like his room. Oh, there's a train. Like the whale shark. Okay.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Mm-hmm. It's about solving the mystery of her family. Edith came back to this house so she could discover just some stuff about her family, stuff she never knew about.
Milton had been here before me.
She's uncovering a bunch of things. All of her family members that we're seeing are dead. She's the last of the Finches. Well, sort of.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
And, you know, once we're finished, I'll,
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
talk about some stuff. Actually, I can probably talk
Molly's
about some
gerbil
stuff.
had a tiny bedroom with its own
further in,
even tinier
but-
gerbil cage.
Molly was cool. She built her gerbil a little maze. And that's just like a little like house with like furniture, and it's like a little maze, and Molly was a badass. It's sad that she died when she was only 10. Okay, see, she's the one who she's like collecting bugs and stuff, and I think it's cool that she has like this whole like princess thing going on here, you know? But she's also super into like collecting things and like doing like scientific like experiments and stuff like that. I think that's really cute. This right here is so me, just collecting animal skulls.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Yeah, I would imagine. I think that's it here. Okay. Oh, yay, thank you. Thank you for the lurk.
December
You're awesome
13th,
as always.
1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. My Halloween candy was all gone.
And we're only 10.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
I've been, I've started counting calories and stuff, so eat the amount I'm supposed to during the day, and then that's it. And sometimes I'm just kind of hungry when I go to bed, but I'm like, well, just gonna have to deal, man. But it's different when you're 10. You know, being like 29 years old, you know, I'm not worried about it. But this girl is 10. And it wasn't like she didn't want to eat her dinner. It's just she got in trouble and her mom was like, you don't get any food.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Of course, we talked about this, you know, yesterday.
I kept eating and eating. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
So see, this chain here is on this door, and I'm guessing that
And suddenly,
her dad attempted
I was
to
a
keep her
cat.
safe. Well, you have to think about it, like, she didn't get any food, so she ate old gerbil food, a bunch of holly berries, and a tube of toothpaste, and then she climbed out the window, so I don't know if she's hallucinating all of this because of the stuff she ate, or if she fell out the window trying to get to the bird. Right now we're a cat. Yeah, oh, I can't see the paws. Okay.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
She might be hallucinating because she ate a bunch of weird stuff.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Aha! This bird is a problem! Dude, I don't know what's in the toothpaste.
I jumped and I almost got
This
her.
girl's only like 10. I was reading something about mistletoe, and apparently it takes a lot to kill you and make you sick.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Dude, same. All I care about is eating this mama bird.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
And hers is all like, you know, food related, so I wonder if this isn't the first time she's had to go to bed without. You know what I mean?
Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew
You know,
off
it's like we
to
were
find
talking about. I understand, like, if the kid is like, I don't want to eat it. Then it's like, well, you can either eat the dinner I put in front of you, or you don't. Because I'm not making, like, 2 different meals. But this whole, like, oh, you did something bad, so
a
no
mama
food.
rabbit.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid. Oh, I missed her. Dang it. Well, I'm coming back around, Bun Bun. Got it.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Yeah, the most terrifying kind of shark, though. A land shark. Because if you see a shark on the land, then you know you're screwed.
I
Oops,
rolled off a
excuse
cliff
me.
and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
I can smell you.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Where'd she go? There she is. This girl's got the bloodlust. And I guess that's what happens when your
That
family's
dog's
super
tight.
weird.
But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Grab the bird. Get it. Get the fucker. He led you here.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Now we're Cthulhu. Or something.
I was big, and I moved real quiet.
I just like to imagine. Like, these guys are like, did you guys hear Steve scream? It's like, no, I don't think so. It's like, are you sure? It sounded an awful lot like Steve screaming.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
It helps that the ship captain likes really loud music. Oh, I missed him. Ow. This guy hit every piece of furniture. Your sea shanty is loud. You must die.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
Oh, we're back in our room.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
And this was the night that she died. So.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
So we're collecting these stories. I think that there have been a couple that died really young, like the baby. He was only... Oh yeah, that's right. He was only a year old when he died.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, She was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
See, this is just weird. Edie's just weird. See this? She even has ones for her birds. Thank you. You know, she's got little... Yeah, Edie had problems.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Built 1937 by Edith Finch.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Mysterious Death and Thereafter. Mural sketches, Molly concepts, Barbara concepts. Oh, is this like, you know, the way they were portrayed in game?
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Yeah, I imagine.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum.
Norwegian folktales. She's got a lot of stuff on folktales around here.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Anything else in here? I don't think so. This is the door, but it's bolted shut.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
I know, way too much. I would have been like, no, thank you.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Calvin Finch. Yeah.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Sam was like, he was one of the twins, yeah, right. This is cool though. He did a lot of picture taking and stuff. I like that. Milton did a lot of painting in the house too. So Fort Calvin and Fort Sam, you can see that they both had like separate interests as well. Sam was into hunting and photography, which I think is really, really cool, and military stuff. And then Calvin was into space and being an astronaut and stuff like that. And I think that's really cool too. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, do we have to go?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Oh, she just like comes down to the bed. Oh, I can't jump. Oh, is it because I'm pregnant? Yeah. That's like Christian with like his Legos and stuff.
And that he never talked about him.
Benjamin likes to talk about sports. They're like, I love how different they are. They're like exact opposites in every way. Also in the way that their body reacts to heat. Benjamin gets cold very easy, even on a really hot sunny day. And then Christian, he overheats. It's really like, it's crazy. To command center, okay?
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Yeah. So, yeah, see, Sam, or he already has a broken leg.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
That's his brother, Calvin. I like to do both. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. I'm gonna kick you, Calvin.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
He wanted to be an astronaut, so yeah, I can imagine.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready.
So that's
Coming.
their mom
But that day,
calling them.
he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Also, what kind of parent builds a swing?
Maybe if I hadn't
over
said
here?
that.
You're gonna realize a lot about this family.
I'm gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. And maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
I want you guys to hazard a guess of who you think the villain
That's what I want to
of this
remember
game
about
is.
my brother.
Also, you'll notice that there was a picture of the swing taken.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
And that's how he died. Sorry, how Calvin died, not Sam. Sam was the one taking pictures.
Calvin's story felt
That's how Calvin
strangely
died.
familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
And Sam was there, he left right before it happened. He was taking pictures of the ocean and stuff, and then...
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Yeah, and then forced Sam to live with it, with the remains of his brother. Which I think is just super friggin' depressing.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Yeah, I get it. He didn't want to be around it. Okay. Alright, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to go fill up my coffee cup. So I'll be right back in just a second, everybody. I'm back with more coffee. That is pretty cool, if I'm being totally honest. That's neat. Wish I had a
The
flashlight.
passages were a pretty tight fit.
Yeah.
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, again, if you guys didn't catch that when I was looking at her tum-tum, she is pregnant. That's why I said she's kind of the last of the Finches, but not really the last of the Finches. Because yeah, she's pregnant. So we have two ways we can go. We can open this, which I think I'm gonna do. Because why not, right? And then we're gonna go into Milton. Milton was the cutest. He just had all these cute drawings.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Yeah, she was a child star. There's so many like cool little visuals and stuff. There's another game that this company did. What's it? It's like the something Swan. I just seeing that reminded me of it. And you're like trying to repaint the world and stuff, which I find very interesting. Trying to remake the world with paint. Seattle Starlets.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
By the way, Edie is the one who memorializes everyone in his house, if you didn't catch that as well. After Lewis died, like immediately after Lewis died, she started to memorialize his death by making like the mural and stuff like that. So she's the one who does a lot of this decorating and crap like that. And then Dawn kept trying to get her to stop doing that. but she didn't. A film by Lady Gregory. Sweet. Barbara... She was only, what, 25? Is that 26? She was very young when she died. Dreadful stories.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
I think Edie was the one who had it published,
with
actually.
another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Also, I want you to remember
I'm hearing frustration,
that things
but
are not what they
I'm not
seem
hearing terror
in this game.
What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
I mean, it is cool that her dad likes to make puzzles. Also, I love the Jason Voorhees music. Not Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers. Sorry, I stared off at the thing for like 2 seconds, and I was like, Jason Voorhees, no, Michael Myers. Halloween music. Where's my boyfriend? Okay, yep, that's where
The
Daddy...
gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago
Oh,
tonight.
delicious. That's what I would have done. Impaled and ate my family. What about you guys? No, I'm just kidding.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Next time, totally open it.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your screen.
She's
Well,
like,
I'm not scared.
beat
Rick.
your ass.
I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out.
Without his other crutch. I love
A
it.
little something to remember him
Yeah.
by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding
No.
it when she fell asleep watching the late
Haven't seen it,
show.
honey.
Hours later,
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
I'm hitting you with a crutch too. I do love their decorations though. Really good at that for Halloween. Yeah, okay, let's just, you know, make me fall down the stairs.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And whatever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Yep. Secret doors.
She played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
I just love that it's very... I love that it's playing out like this. Like an actual, like, Halloween movie, you know? Where it's got the music and, like, the villain that's kind of chasing you around just kind of supernaturally and... and, of course, won't die, so that's always fun.
Had vanished. She
Did he,
listened
though?
for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Look, I've watched enough horror movies to know that going anywhere when there's a serial killer in the house is just bad. I would have been back in the other room.
was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
You've taken on 2 people so far. Beat them.
Bravo, Barbara! You were wonderful!
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
I just want to watch Tales from the Crypt now. So, here's the thing about this story. Is that the only way... Well, I'll let her do her thing first.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Yeah, the thing about that comic is the details. The only way it could have been written the way it was is if someone who was kind of there knew what happened, and then they wrote it out, but made it more fanciful and stuff like that. That's why it's kind of like, because Edie memorializes everyone. She painted this here, this wood thing. So she probably also used the details of Barbara's death for the story, because, you know, why not, right? Can I look out this pupil? No. Oh no, it's the other way. Duh. So yeah, I'm thinking that she's the one who made the comic, or she paid someone to create the comic of how Barbara died. And I
guess
do
now
think
I know
that,
why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
I do think that Rick was the one who murdered Barbara. I think he got pissed off after she locked him out, and then he came back and he killed her, and then he left. Alright, so we did Barbara. Do we need to go upstairs? Probably, right? Yeah.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
I wonder if we're supposed to go back this way? This was their room, Sam and the
It's
other
funny.
brother.
All
Yeah.
those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
You had to keep turning it, and oh, that's where they want me to go. You have to keep turning it, like she said. It's dark in here. It's like super dark. Okay, hold on. Is that better? That's better. Okay, cool. So I need to go to the basement key. Oh. Okay. It like blinked in and out of existence while it was like loading the downstairs. Sure, sure. Listen, there better not be any serial killers in here. I am pregnant and not in the mood. There it is. It is cool though. Spin's like little like puzzle making is pretty neat. This is where she died. And also where like her mom didn't want her to be because of everything that happened down here. Like Dawn locked off a lot of stuff. It's really crazy how like even though she doesn't want her daughter down here, she doesn't want her around this stuff, she still gives her the key to go back. Like she didn't have to do that. So he must be the one who cuts all
Mom
little
said the
wood
basement was
things
off limits,
for
unless I wanted
Edie.
another tetanus shot.
Another one, yeah. There's the saw. That's where he cut his hand.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
No, Edie was a little, you know, bananas.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Yeah, I bet.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Secret doorway. Still really dark. Oh, there it is.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Mm-hmm. So Walter came down here after what happened to Barbara, I think. Yeah.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
You know what's
Having a
sad about
schedule,
this?
living for today.
Edie didn't get him any help. She just let him come down
I
here
always expected to be dead tomorrow.
and live underneath the house.
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
She would just
Even
bring
a
him
monster
supplies.
on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Is it not this way? Oh. Oh, no, the stool's in the way. How could I ever get by that? I can't see anything. Where's the door? Okay, so we came in. Do I have to move this stool? Do I have to move this stool out of the way? Get out of my way. I want to go over there. Let me out. I don't want to be in here anymore. Wait. Oh, it's the hatch. There's a hatch. Okay. I'm just dumb. And also, this is where the stories of the Mole Man come from,
I know it's
by
out
the
there
way.
somewhere.
Edie's lies about a mole man living under
Whatever
the
killed
house.
Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
God.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Can you imagine 30 years underground and you finally decide to come out?
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
And you get hit by a train. Oh, okay.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Yep.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
That's where the sea monster came in.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
This story is so sad.
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Probably would have just not said anything to
Though
my
to be
child.
honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
This is the other side here of that
I
fence.
think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
More like you just accepted it as it was.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
I mean, you know, Pet Cemetery. Did you watch that movie? Lucy, Daisy, Charlie. Look at all these animals. These are all the birds. Shadow. I had a cat named Shadow.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Walter. Barbara.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Oh, hey. So, you missed Barbara's story and Walter's. So Barbara was murdered in the house. She was trying to get back into being famous by like her boyfriend is trying to help her get back her famous horror movie Scream. He tried to scare her. She hit him with one of his crutches and then threw him out of the house, and then that night she was murdered. Her brother Walter was the only one there when it happened. And you know this by reading a comic in her room that was part of how she was memorialized, and it's kind of like implied that Edie is the one who leaked the information for the comic book, because if you read it, it has information in it that only someone who had been close to the case would have known about, I think. And I think what happened was that it angered her boyfriend, he broke back into the house, and then he killed her. He cut off one of her ears and left it in the music box for her family to find. But both him and her were both gone. And then Walter, after what happened to Barbara, he started living underground. And that's where the story of the Mole Man came from, the one that Edie spread. He finally decided after 30 years he wanted to go out to the world and stop being afraid. He went out his secret hatch onto some train tracks. And that moment, when he came out, he was hit by a train. So he died after deciding he was no longer going to be afraid of the family curse, quote unquote, the curse. And once again, he was memorialized by Edie, who had been taking him food, by the way.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Gregory, Gus, and Sam. Dawn was the daughter, okay.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Sanjay, right here, that was Dawn's husband, I do believe. I think. Lewis, and then, yeah. So Sanjay is Edith's dad, and then Lewis and Milton were Edith's brothers.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
And here, you missed her while she was saying that maybe the stories themselves are what's causing the curse, that they believe so much in a curse that they're kind of killing themselves in a way. And she even says that maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. She's talking to her baby, but I think you deserve to know. And really that's like one of the big core things of this story is that Edie was very big into
There's
this
so many things
myth,
I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along.
So much so
for me to come back someday.
She kind of killed her whole family with it. Because you can see just based on the stories, I mean, if you look at Calvin, the way he died, he had a broken leg when he died. It's almost like they're so wrapped up in this idea of a curse that they just don't care. It's like, well, when the curse takes you, it takes you, and that's the end of it. Instead of being like, okay, honey, don't swing off over the cliff. You will die. And Dawn, she keeps trying to stop this stuff from happening, but she kind of got wrapped up in it herself.
But
to the point that she gives
now,
Edith a key to the house, or to the secrets of the house.
if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
And even this. Look at what she's doing at 22 weeks pregnant. It's like she just doesn't even think about it. you know, it's kind of very, very sad. Attic space? Oh, can we go in here? No. Okay. Oh, it's a ladder. Alright, up we go.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Yeah, Sam was Don's dad. And Don had 2 brothers who both died.
They were both pretty intense.
Yeah. Sam was the guy who was in the military. Oh, he got a lot of, you know, medals and stuff.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
And he was an avid hunter, too. I just want to look around before I do his story.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Sam was probably under the assumption that if he went out and greeted it, then it wouldn't take him as quickly. But he's still, you know, wrapped up in the curse. Kay Finch. I think Kay was his wife. The one who did all the pink, maybe. Alright.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
No. Rain's good, actually.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna
So
take
if
some
it
pictures,
rains at
okay?
night,
Just be careful.
On a hunting
the camera's
trip?
older than you are.
and it's like a dark, moonless night, like the next day, best for hunting. Because the deer have to get up,
Definitely
You
should
know.
not have drunk all that coffee.
because usually they get up to eat at night. When the moon is out, and then they sleep during the day.
Nothing quite like being outside. Hey!
That's a keeper.
But if it's like
Hold
a
still while I
dark,
take a picture
cloudy
of you.
night and it's pouring rain,
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
oh, dear.
Dad, I...
Just... Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you need to be strong. Great shot, Don!
Dude, great shot, Sam. Oh, honey.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Dad,
It's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Doc. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Can you imagine, like, being there for that? And Dawn is really lucky she didn't fall off, too.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oh, yeah, how her grandpa died. So sad. Sorry, I'm getting all choked up and stuff, but it just gets, like, worse, like, the longer it goes. Attic space.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
This must have belonged to Calvin. Alright, so here's another warning for you guys. This one is about a baby, so I just want you to be prepared. If it's something you can't, you know, watch or listen to.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Alright, we got 2. No, we'll go ahead and get this one out of the way, okay?